Vlogmas day 20. Today is Thursday, December 20th. I am just about to go make myself another cup of coffee. Not actually make myself, I'm going to reheat my second cup of coffee because I did not have a chance to actually drink it yet. And get myself some kind of a sweet treat because we still have quite a bit left in there. And then I need to edit yesterday's Vlogmas because I have not done that yet. I've gotten most of my cleaning done for today. The vacuum died. Not died, the battery needs recharged. So it's recharging right now so that I can finish vacuuming and laundry, and that's basically my life. Cleaning and laundry. I am horribly behind on knitting my minis into my blanket. I have day 18, 19, and then today we're gonna open day 20. None of those have been put into my blanket yet, but that's okay. I'm looking forward to being able to sit down and kind of binge knit on adding the minis in. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Today I'm working on a cowl that I believe I videoed some of yesterday. We will see when I go to edit. For Eric that he requested, one to wear while he's riding his motorcycle. His neck gets cold. So I am working on that. I think I had to restart it because I had too many stitches cast on. He doesn't want it too tight, he doesn't want it too big. We're trying to find that happy medium, but I think I'm good and I've gotten a good bit done on it. So I might work on that a little bit today, but I'm probably gonna work the most on Wyatt's Spider-Man socks that have not been touched in a while, and I really want to have them done for him to open on Christmas. So the first sock is probably, it's pretty close to being done. It's almost to the toe. So I think I can have them done no problem, but the issue now is going to be that their winter break officially starts tomorrow. They have half a day tomorrow and then winter break starts. So I don't want him to see them. So I'm gonna have to be super sneaky because they're not gonna be done by the time they get out of school tomorrow. But let's go ahead and open day 20. Oh, this is Teeny Button Studios, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Oh, that is so fun. I love this. And, oh, that's adorable. It says, "This is my ugly Christmas sweater." Super cute. Working on Wyatt's sock, and I thought, oh, I probably don't have too much further. Let's get the sock blocker out and see how far I have to go. And then I remembered we just bought him a new pair of shoes, and what size was that new pair of shoes? 4.5. He went up a bit in shoe size. So I still have, I thought I didn't have that much further to go, but I still have 1.5 inches before I start the toe. His wee little feet are not so wee little anymore since the last pair of socks that I made him. I feel like he's going through a major growth spurt and I don't like it. He can stop now. Funny that I told him not that long ago to stop growing. Like, stop, can you just stay little forever? As serious as could be, he looks at me and says, "I tried. It didn't work." It really makes me sad that he's getting bigger. I have 1.5 inches to go before I start the toe. But that's okay because he's extremely knit worthy. And look how cute these Spider-Man socks are. He's gonna be so excited. I'm sitting here working on Eric's cowl. That's how it's looking so far. I'm worried it might be a little too small, but I'm gonna block it and block it so that it's out, not so that it's pulled in with the ribbing. So maybe it won't be too bad once it's blocked. We'll see. But I had to come upstairs and put some laundry away and sit down at the computer to do a couple of things on here. And while I was sitting here, I thought I would answer some of the questions. So I had mentioned a while back during Vlogmas, and I also put it on Instagram, that if you had any questions that you would like answered, I would do a little bit of an Ask Me Anything. So I think what I'm going to do is do half of those today, about half, give or take, we'll see. And then the rest tomorrow if time allows. And if not tomorrow, it'll definitely get done before Vlogmas is over. But that's the tentative plan, is some today and some tomorrow. So the first question, I just went through the ones that were on the YouTube video. I believe it was, I want to say December 12th, but I could be wrong, that I asked that. And then the ones that I got via the Instagram question thing on the stories. And some were asked multiple times, so, you know, I went through and I'm only going to answer those once, obviously, but I kind of typed up a list here of the questions. So, question number 1, would you consider yourself a cat person or a dog person? I would say a cat person. I grew up with cats. We had a couple dogs, but mostly we had cats. They were usually outside cats. We had a couple inside throughout the years, but mostly outside cats. And people would drop cats off at our house. I mean, we lived out in the country. We had a lot of cats. So definitely I would say I'm a cat person. I love our dogs. Don't get me wrong. I love Chloe and Gracie. But I think I'm definitely a cat person. Number 2, if you could move anywhere in the world, where would you choose to go? I've thought about this one a little bit because I feel like it's kind of a tricky question for me to answer because we have moved so much with my husband's job that honestly at this point in my life I can say I would be fine if we never ever move again. If we move to a different house, like in the future, you know, if we got like our forever home, that might be fine. I'd be okay with that. But I don't ever want to move to another town, another state. I love Arizona so much. But if putting all of those moves aside, if there is somewhere that I could say, let's move there, it would probably be England. I've just always wanted to go visit, and Eric was actually stationed there when he was in the active duty in the Air Force, and he loved it. At the time we were not married, so I did not get to be stationed over there with him, but he loved it. He talks about it often. It's definitely somewhere that I hope to visit one day, but I don't know, I think because we've talked about moving overseas before with our various moves, you know, opportunities have presented themselves. And that is one that I've always been like, okay, I would be okay with that one. I would be okay with England. So I would say somewhere in England. Number 3, what pattern do you recommend for a total sock beginner? I usually always recommend the vanilla latte sock pattern. I believe it is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's the very first sock pattern that I used. And I love it. I think it's a pattern that it explains things well, and I'm almost positive it's a free pattern, and it's very well written for a free pattern. Number 4, with all of your moves, how do you find new knitting groups? So I don't find them. I start them. I've basically started a group everywhere we've lived. Or at the very least, I've taught somebody to knit or crochet back when I was a crocheter everywhere we've lived. That's kind of interesting to think about, but I really have. Thinking back even before I was starting the groups, there was someone everywhere we lived that I taught to knit or crochet, depending on, you know, what I was really into at the time. So that's kind of fun to think about. I don't think I've ever really thought about the fact that even before the groups I was doing that, but I've started groups the past 4. This will be the 4th place that we've moved that I've started a group. I get asked a lot how I start the groups. Usually I do it via social media. This last move from North Carolina to here was the easiest to start a group because as soon as I announced we were moving, I had ladies interested in me starting a group and hoping that I would start a group. So this was the easiest, but this is the first move where I've really had any kind of a presence via social media within the knitting community. Typically, I've just went to Facebook. I don't use Facebook as often anymore, but for the prior moves, I had went there and looked up whether it was like groups within the town on Facebook. And you can always do a quick search to see if there are already knit or crochet groups within your area on Facebook, or Ravelry is good for that. There are also some groups that post on there about their meetups. But yeah, to start one, I would usually go to Facebook and look for, like, since we live near military bases, I could look up a lot of like military wives groups, and ask on there if anybody was interested in learning or if they already knit or crocheted, joining a group. The same for like Facebook groups within your town or your HOA, your neighborhood, anything like that, to just reach out, because more often than not, I found everywhere we've lived, there are always people, whether they know how to or they want to learn how to, they're usually people interested in meeting up. Or maybe I've just gotten very fortunate everywhere that I've moved, that I've kind of created an amazing group of women that get together, and, you know, I've gotten lucky in that way, but I think usually you're going to find somebody who's interested or already knows how and would love to join a group. I think it's a lot of just kind of, I don't know, just putting yourself out there in that way. And I know that can be terrifying in a sense because I tend to be a pretty shy person. So putting yourself out there and meeting a group of people for the first time and starting a group especially, it can be a little nerve-wracking. But like I said, I don't know if I've always just gotten pretty lucky that I've fell into just kind of an amazing group of women. But yeah, start your own if you don't have one. Number 5, do you miss North Carolina? No. No. I miss my friends. I miss my knitting group. As far as the area, no, I don't miss it. I'm definitely a desert girl. I'm finding that out more and more. This being our 2nd time living in Arizona, I am an Arizona girl. I love it out here. I love everything about it. I will even suffer through the 100 million degree days. I just love it so much out here. So no, I don't miss the area. I miss the people. Number 6, I know you started as a crocheter, but what made you switch to knitting? I just liked the look of knitted fabric better. I crocheted for years, and when it came to making hats or scarves or anything like that, or even wanting to advance to making garments, I just loved the look of a knitted fabric better. So that really was the pull for me to knitting, was just liking the way the fabric looked. Number 7, what is your favorite toe and heel? So my favorite heel is a heel flap and gusset, whether it's slip stitch, I have partridge. I love a heel flap and gusset. They just fit me the best. My favorite toe is just a basic rounded toe, I guess you could call it. In my sock patterns on Ravelry, you can find I use a heel flap and gusset, and my favorite toe is in every single pattern. And those are available in Ravelry. And there are a few that are free on Ravelry. Number 8, what is your favorite shawl shape? Definitely triangular. Just love how it wears, love knitting them. Number 9, what would be your perfect weekend? So I would have to say, I'm gonna guess we're going with like a knitting weekend here. What would be my perfect knitting weekend? And I would have to say the weekend that I spent in Flagstaff with my knit group here was a pretty perfect weekend. Low stress, we weren't running around, you know, it wasn't like festivals. I love the festival weekends, don't get me wrong there, because those are amazing too, like Rhinebeck weekend, all of that. But you have the hustle and bustle that comes with a festival like that. The Flagstaff weekend that my knit group did, and we're actually gearing up, hopefully weather permitting, to do another one next month. It was amazing. We just relaxed, knit all day, talked, ate food. It was a great weekend. Number 10, are you going to Edinburgh Yarn Festival? No plans to do that at the moment for this next one coming up in March. Maybe one year I will, but at this moment, no. Number 11, what was your favorite pattern to knit? Probably my Heart of Glass. I love that tee, and I love it so much I want to do the one that has longer sleeves. It was such a fun pattern to knit. It was constructed in a way, the top portion was, that I had never done in a garment before. It fits amazing. It kept me interested. Number 12, will you write a sweater or cardi pattern? At this moment, I have no plans to. I don't want to say I never will, because who knows if inspiration strikes and I feel like I want to venture out and try something like that, I would totally go for it. But at this moment in time, I have no plans to. Number 13, do you knit English or continental? I knit continental. Number 14, do you think you would come to Knit City? That's another, I don't want to say I never would, because why not? But I have no plans to within the foreseeable future. Number 15, I'm wondering, what are all the places you have lived? So let's see, I was born and raised in Parkersburg, West Virginia. After I got married, I moved to Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. We moved back to Parkersburg, West Virginia after my husband got out of the military. Then to Lexington Park, Maryland. From there, we moved back to Florida. We lived in Crestview, Florida. Yuma, Arizona after that. Havelock, North Carolina. And now here in Surprise, Arizona. So we have been all over. All right, I think we will leave it there for today. That's 15 of the questions.